Good morning. I'm Shauna and I'm here with Jaya this morning. Just Jaya. I didn't bring a pig down today because she's feeling a little needy today. So she needs some extra love. I'm just going to sit here and pet her while I read. So we are continuing Betty Dog and Jaya's Power Pack. And on chapter 3, it's called Junk Mail. Betty Dog got out of her bed in the corner of the living room and stretched. First her front legs and then her back ones. The tags on her purple collar made a soft tinkling sound as she gave a hard body shake, as if she were trying to shake herself awake after a good night's sleep. It was early morning as daylight quietly filled the room. She could see the shape of Fiona, who was wrapped in a fleece blanket and still asleep on the couch. Fiona's head was under the pillow, and she was almost completely hidden from sight, with just her bare foot dangling from the couch cushion. Betty Dog felt a rush of love as she tiptoed over to sniff Fiona's foot. After Chase and Becca, Fiona was her favorite human. Betty Dog, also known as BD for short, was a beautiful Dalmatian who had been abandoned, rescued, adopted by Chase and Becca, and then celebrated for being a hero, all in her first 2 years of life. She was a special dog with a special story. Depending who you talked to, her story changed. Because she was born with one brown eye and one blue one, and was also deaf, the mean dog breeder considered her to be worthless. When she was just a tiny puppy, he took her away from her mom and litter mates and tossed her like trash. He called her defective and thought no one would want her. That was his story about her, but it was wrong. The real story was this. Beatty's eyes were amazingly beautiful, and everyone who met her was changed by the light and love that came from them. And one more thing, Betty Dog's deafness hid a special gift. She was a dog who could think and understand life better than most humans. She didn't talk, but boy could she think. She was fun and funny, she was smart and sassy, and she had a wonderful sense of right and wrong, and used her gifts to guide those around her, both dogs and humans. Chase and Becca were like a mom and dad to BD. Fiona was their niece who liked to sleep over at their house a lot. That way she could visit BD and hang out with her friends Gigi and Skylar, who happened to live nearby. BD gently licked Fiona's foot and thought about how she was almost like a sister. Wonderful Fiona, thought BD. Suddenly Fiona accidentally kicked BD in the face as she was startled awake by the wet tickling on the bottom of her foot. Ow, thought BD as Fiona yanked her foot away. BD, what are you doing? Asked Fiona, who pulled her head out from under the pillow and pushed her hair out of her eyes. She reached down and felt her wet foot. Ugh, I love you, but please don't lick my feet. What time is it? She stretched her arm toward the floor and picked up her cell phone, opened one eye and checked the time. It was only 6:30 a.m. Gosh, BD, it's still early. Please go lay down. Even though Betty Dog couldn't hear her, she understood completely and went back to her bed in the corner, flopped down, and started to close her eyes. But now Fiona was wide awake. She propped up her pillow at the end of the couch and began to scroll through her email. There was a message from her best buddy, Gigi. It's titled, New Rescue Dog. Hey Fiona, did you hear that Skylar and Gavin got a new dog? It's a rescue dog like BD and my Gracie. Are you ready for this? She was flown into County Airport on a small plane. She's really pretty, has red hair like Skylar. The next time you stay at your aunt and uncle's house, let me know, because maybe you can get BD and we can all get together with our dogs. Oh, and one more thing. Did you hear the story going around about the girl who's the lead for the middle school musical? I don't know her name. She seems really nice, but everyone's saying she keeps getting kicked out of schools. I don't know what she did. We'll try to find out more. Talk to you soon. G. Mumbled Fiona as she read Gigi's message. Then she hit reply. Hi, Gigi. I don't know that girl's name either, but I remember thinking she had a great voice when we were in choir class. But still, it doesn't seem fair that a new person can come in and take the lead spot away from one of our girls, even if she is better. Now they're saying she did something bad? We'll have to ask around. And guess what? I'm at Uncle Chase and Aunt Becca's house right now. Maybe you can borrow your mom's phone and text me after you get this message. What if you and Skylar bring your dogs here? Uncle Chase is super careful when dogs meet for the first time, so I know he or Aunt Becca will want to watch. BD and Gracie are best buds, like us, but we'll have to see how the new dog gets along with them. See you later, Fiona. Chapter 4, Meeting of the Minds. Hi, Aunt Becca, said Fiona as she came into the kitchen. Look who's here. BD and Gracie both wore wide smiles as they scampered into the kitchen together. Hi, Gigi, and a good afternoon to you, Grace. said Becca with a laugh as the dogs started tap dancing on the tile floor. They weren't really dancing, but that's what she called it when their nails made clicking sounds as they happily moved about. Grace was a beautiful, shiny black lab mix. As she and BD made playful spins, they almost looked like dancers on a TV show. Then they dashed to the water bowl where BD let Grace drink first. "Hi, Miss Becca," answered Gigi. "Thanks for having us over today." "Aunt Becca," asked Fiona, "is Uncle Chase here? Skylar and her new dog are outside, and we thought he could help us introduce her to BD. We want to make sure we do it right." "You just missed him," answered Becca. "He left to go to the grocery store, and he's got a long list, so he'll be gone a while. But I'll be glad to do it." She handed a short purple leash to Fiona and said, "Here, put this on Betty Dog. Make sure all of the dogs are on leashes. You girls are so smart for wanting them to meet each other in the best possible way," she smiled. "So let's take a walk together first. After they've spent time together in that way, they'll be more relaxed, and it won't be a big deal," she said as they went out the back door. "That's what we did when BD and Grace met for the first time," said Gigi. "That's right," said Fiona. "They acted like they had been friends forever." "Hi, Skylar," called Becca as she looked across the patio. "Congratulations on your new dog." "So here's our plan. We're going to take all of the dogs for a short walk together around the block before we have them meet." "Hi, Miss Becca," smiled Skylar. "That sounds great. We're ready when you are." Here's a pic of the girls. Jaya's getting comfy now. I know. You can just relax. Then they walked around the block, 2 by 2. Fiona and Gigi led the way, while Becca and Skylar followed behind. Their dogs fell into a nice pace together and trotted along happily in the late afternoon sun. Back in the yard afterwards, BD, Grace, and Jaya greeted each other with sniffs, wagging tails, and a few happy gallops before they laid down in the shade. "Well, that was almost a boring meeting," laughed Becca as she watched the dogs stretch out on the patio to rest. "They act like they're already a bunch of old friends." "You don't think Jaya's boring, do you, Miss Becca?" asked Skylar in a worried voice as she glanced at her golden dog, who was beginning to close her eyes as she stretched out near the back step. "Jaya, boring? Heck no," laughed Becca. "She's a calm, well-behaved, and beautiful dog. I was just kidding about all of them being boring," she told her. "We really don't want a bunch of wild and crazy dogs meeting for the first time. She was perfect." "Oh, okay, that's good," answered Skylar, sounding relieved. "You're not boring, Jaya. You're well-behaved and perfect." "That's absolutely right," Becca told her. "Would anyone like some iced tea?" "I really like your dog, Skylar," said Fiona as they sat outside the back door of Becca's house. "And Jaya is an awesome name. I've never heard of it before." "Thanks," smiled Skylar as she put down her glass of tea. "It means victory. I never heard of it before either. I just thought it was pretty. But later, after we read through all of her different stories from the shelter and saw what a hard life she had, getting adopted really was a victory. Some of those stories made her look like a bad dog that nobody wanted." "She's not kidding," added Gigi. "At one point, Sky, Gavin, and I all had our laptops open to the rescue website, and we saw 3 different stories, and I don't think any of them were true." As they continued to sit and talk, BD lifted her head and quietly studied them. "I can feel their happy kid energy," she thought. "Gosh, I love kids. I remember visiting the kids in Becca's classroom, and I love spending time with the ones on Chase's soccer team. Kids are the best. I've noticed that a lot of humans think they know everything about a dog or another human just because of the story they've heard. And, right or wrong, that's how they judge them. I think a lot of kids haven't learned to tell those kinds of stories yet. Looking at Jaya laying in the sun, I can feel her kindness, and her light, and her power. Even though I just met her, I have a good feeling about her. There may have been 3 different stories about her, but she knew the right one. And naturally, it was the kids who could also see her real story from her face in a picture. They trusted the feeling they got when they looked into her eyes. I'm so glad they still listen to that little feeling inside, because it knows the truth better than our minds do. Welcome to the pack, J-Light." And I don't know if she's going to jump up, but the real Jay is relaxed. She needed some TLC. Yeah, I think she's going to take a nap now. Everybody have a good day. Oh, I gotta get this. Bye.